The FDA has removed the black box warning label on hormone replacement therapy for menopause, but what does that mean for us here in the UK? Let me break it down for you. Firstly, this change does not mean a lot for us here in the UK. Although this FDA decision is a significant step, it does not automatically change official UK medical guidance or regulation. Regulatory bodies and medical professional organisations in the UK operate independently, though they do consider international evidence and take that into consideration in how we deal with medication in the UK. Why is the black box warning significant? Well, two studies, the WHI and the Million Women study in the early 2000s, claimed that there were major risks associated with systemic oral synthetic HRT, including breast cancer, clots, stroke, heart attack. This led to the FDA placing it in the highest warning label on the drugs. Subsequently, the FDA placed that warning label on all estrogen preparations, such as body-identical transdermal estrogens, which comes as patches, gels, and sprays, and low-dose topical vaginal estrogen. However, subsequent studies, meta-analysis, have found that the original studies from the 2000s were flawed, and in fact, body-identical systemic transdermal estrogen does not increase the risk of clots, and the risk of breast cancer is not increased in the first 5 years of use. Low-dose topical vaginal estrogen does not increase the risk of breast cancer, as it only works locally and has no significant impact in the bloodstream. This is already reflected in the UK guidance from NICE, which was updated in 2024, and the British Menopause Society advises that low-dose topical vaginal estrogen can be considered for managing genitourinary syndrome of the menopause or vaginal atrophy or vaginal dryness in patients who are managing breast cancer alongside their treatment for menopausal symptoms as well. As long as this is documented, discussed, and also that is done in conjunction with the breast cancer team, the oncology team, and the patient is aware of the risks and benefits. So at the moment, the leaflet that comes with topical vaginal estrogens, such as Vagifem, in fact lists all the systemic HRT risks such as blood clots and breast cancer, when we know that Vagifem or low-dose topical vaginal estrogen such as estriol does not carry that risk. And we've got multiple studies to show that it does not get uptaken into the bloodstream or have systemic uptake when you use localized vaginal estrogen. The current guidelines in the UK for women with a history of breast cancer, particularly hormone receptive positive types, is that systemic HRT should be avoided due to the potential risk of reoccurrence. However, experts and also studies that are happening currently might allow us to rethink this, particularly with body identical systemic transdermal estrogens. So watch this space, because as we're getting to understand estrogens and the role of breast cancer and how breast cancer is caused, our thinking is changing along the way. In summary, while the FDA's regulatory change is US specific, it does align with current UK medical understanding of the safety profile of low-dose topical vaginal estrogen, especially for women with a history of breast cancer, and gives clinicians and patients more confidence in discussing the risks versus benefits over prescribing estrogens. Also, with this approval from the FDA, it gives us better guidance from the British Menopause Society and will help update the leaflets that come with systemic HRT and localized vaginal estrogens, which still list breast cancer and clots, which is inaccurate because that doesn't happen with low-dose topical vaginal estrogen. As always, it's best to have a discussion with your doctor because HRT is so nuanced and individualized, and it definitely is not one size fits all. But I hope that's been helpful. If there's any questions, leave them down below.